Hello, passengers, and welcome to the Midnight Train, America's second favorite podcast, where we bring the dark to light, where history never dies, and where listener discretion is always advised. We dive into, make fun of, and joke about the creepy and unsolved mysteries of the world, all while bringing you as much information on each topic as possible. Yes, we are a lighthearted kind of comedy podcast, or at least we try to be, but we do talk about some pretty dark topics. So if you're not into that, listen, no hard feelings. But if you are, thanks for jumping on the train. Thanks for being here. Thanks for giving us a chance, and welcome aboard. I am your host, the conductor of the cryptic, Jonathan Sayer. And with me today is the one, the only, the Sam Squinch Hunter himself. It's Mr. Moody.
No matter what kind of day I'm having, the applause always gets me back happy again.
Yeah, see, the applause, it's a good thing. And I never give myself the applause. I never.
You deserve it.
Because to me, it's all about you, buddy.
Me?
Yeah.
No, that's not
It's all about you. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
not at all. No.
So listen, do us a favor, sign up for Patreon if you want more episodes, if you want bonus content, if you want all kinds of weird stuff that we do all the time. Just go to patreon.com/the Midnight Train Podcast, or go over to the midnighttrainpodcast.com and you can sign up over there. Recently, we've been doing a lot of really fun stuff. We've talked about the newly released JFK documents, Jack the Ripper and his whole identity thing, and then we did one that actually kind of goes along with the story we're going to be talking about today, which I didn't know about, and that was the Battle of Plattsburgh.
Yeah. It was a huge naval battle.
On Lake Champlain, is that correct? Yeah.
Yes.
Which, if you're not familiar, is right in between, what is it, between like New York and Canada, basically?
Like Vermont and New York and Canada.
Yeah. Not a huge lake, but there was a pretty big war.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you want to listen to that.
It was a huge battle.
That's a huge bitch.
That's ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. Especially at the end where they were just like launching shit at people as they were.
Yeah, like what the like, man, I don't know.
It was amazing. So get on over there, sign up, support the show for $5 a month. You get all that stuff, and you get like stickers and bonus stuff and all kinds of cool stuff. So do us a favor, support the show, and you can also listen to those episodes as well as every episode of the Midnight Train Podcast right on Spotify. So yeah. Do us a favor too. Give us reviews anywhere you're listening. If you can review, please review the show, whether it's on iTunes or Spotify or Stitcher, if that's still a thing. I don't even know anymore. There's so many of them out there. So anyway, on to the show. We'll save the rest of the business stuff until the end. So let's just get into it. All right.
Okay.
Let's turn down the lights. Adjust our seats. Grab a drink and let's get massive.
Too late.
That feels dirty. You said too late. But first of all, here's a toast, all you beautiful motherfuckers.
What are you drinking, buddy?
Chill Wave, an IPA, double IPA from Great Lakes, but then I'm going to be drinking.
Super, it's a double IPA.
Yeah.
Great.
Go hard first, and then I'm doing Mick Ultra Zero.
Okie dokie.
I have started working on a new drink pop.
Oh, yeah?
And it's ridiculous.
Is it in a, what style?
It's in the style of stupid.
I mean, is it like, would it be like a metal-ish type song? Or
No,
rock?
it's weird.
Like
I'm not going to tell you. I want you to be surprised when I do it.
That's fine.
Because you very well may hate it.
Oh, I'm sure I will.
Yeah, well, that's true.
I hate most things.
I was going to say you do hate most things. Yeah. All right, so we are talking about something that actually is pretty. This is a pretty. It's very it gets pretty rough. Yeah. So mass or communal graves were commonly used before the invention of reliable crematory services. In Rome, they used what was called, and I think it's Pudicilli. Does that sound right? Pudicilli.
Pot of chili, I guess. I don't know, man.
A whole pot of chili. I believe it's Pudicilli. It could be Pudicilli, Pudicilli. Maybe
Puta Chili. That's the
Puticuli.
funny kind of Puta, though.
Puticuli. Well, they were open pits that were used for the disposal of waste and the burying of poor people's remains. So yes, shit, garbage, and dead people. That's pretty much what they use these for.
Sounds like my septic system.
According to Varro, a Roman scholar, the Pediculi were located outside of their towns. He claims the name originates from the Latin word for wells and pits, putae or putai, Putei, right? Putai.
Cool.
Yeah. Varro also describes an alternative etymology proposed by his mentor, Aelius Stillo. Aelius believed that since the bodies were thrown into the Puticuli to rot, the name originated from the Latin verb putescebent, meaning used to rot.
Oh, yeah. No, I knew that.
Yeah, I mean, and now we all know that.
Who doesn't know Latin?
Yeah, that I can't pronounce those words, and that's what that is. So it has been argued that the ordered arrangement of graves found on it implies the Roman government was involved in their creation and regulation. Okay, so back at that time.
Yeah.
Furthermore, the limited size of the gravesite indicates they were intended for temporary use and were not commonplace for burial and disposal. So they were just there temporary. Let's just make this whole for right now.
We had a couple of people die. Just chuck them in the pit for a minute until I can figure out what we're going to do.
Exactly. It's not like they had refrigeration or anything like that to put somebody on. So I'm sure that smell was fantastic. According to Wikipedia, of course, we know. Archaeological excavations by Rodolfo Lanciani in 1874 unearthed mass graves in the Esquiline area. These may have been the Puticuli described by Varro. According to Lanciani, the Puticuli, which I'm probably saying it so wrong. Anyway,
yeah, most likely.
Yeah, it covered an area 1,000 feet long and 300 feet deep. Okay? Just think about that for a second. 1,000 feet long and 300 feet deep. A regular grave is only 6 feet deep.
Yeah.
So that means that they're probably just throwing any and every dead person, garbage, shit, whatever it is, into this damn thing. That is disturbing. The burial pits had an average size of 5 meters by 4 meters and were typically about 10 meters deep. Excavators identified a few examples of human remains at this site. It is also possible Horace described this gravesite. Horace describes a 1,000 by 300 foot potter's field with gardens built over it by Gaius. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, remember those words you were talking about? Yeah. Gaius Maecenas. And that's close. This potter's field is possibly the same as the Esquiline Puticuli. Now, suppose you're not familiar with the term potter's field. Okay? In that case, it can be described as one of two things. One, a kick-ass song by Anthrax on the album Sound of White Noise, which was the first album featuring John Bush on vocals and arguably, my favorite singer for Anthrax, but... Or two, a public burial place for paupers, unknown people, and criminals. So basically the lesser rung of society. So yeah, that's where they got put into potter's fields. Potter's fields.
Yeah, right. I'm looking up the pronunciation of that word for you.
For what, Puticuli?
I think I got it. Hold on here for a second.
The way I'm saying it sounds like a dish. Oh, welcome to the restaurant. You wanted the Puticuli?
That can't be right.
What's it saying?
Puticuli.
What?
Puticuli.
Puticuli? There is... Wait, do it one more time. Put it up to the mic.
Puticuli.
Puticuli? Wait, hold on. That cannot even be remotely correct.
I don't believe so either.
Yeah, maybe it is. But for that era, they would not pronounce it like that.
Hold on, let me see. I think I might have found it. Not like I don't know if it's an audio one, but at least I think it tells you how to pronounce it. I don't know. Keep going, and I'll come back to it.
All right,
if I find it.
So now the term here originates from the Bible, mentioned in Matthew 27:7 of purchasing a potter's field for use as a graveyard. Lanciani excavated another gravesite underneath the Servian wall. This site may be another example of a what it's called, Putakuli? Whatever. I'm gonna
particularly.
I don't think that can't be right.
That
Anyway,
sounds like when I try to pronounce foreign words for my wife in Slovenian, I just do it phonetically.
yeah,
And it's the
particularly.
most ridiculous thing in the world.
Ah,
That's
okay.
what that sounds like.
It comprised about 75 different pits.
Oh, there you go.
What is
there
it?
You go.
Puticuli.
It is. It's particularly.
Putikuli.
Putakuli. Putakuli.
Yeah, listen.
Puticuli.
Putakuli. Putakuli.
It's a
Okay.
Putikuli.
Okay. So the Putakuli.
You were even fucking close by with the hot chili.
I was way off with pot of chili. It comprised so 75 different pits, 12 feet wide and 30 feet deep. That's still huge. They were lined with tufa and separated by a travertine wall.
Two for what?
Two for 5. 25 and 2 for 50. If you're not from the Cleveland area, there used to be a what was the name of that store?
It's like Mr. Allen's or something.
Yeah, it was like for shoes. It was 25.
250.
25 of 2 for 50.
29. It was like 29 or 29 and 2 for 50.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, that's hilarious.
29, 250.
So Lanciani found an epigraph describing a praetor named Gaius Sextius, marking the
Ew.
area's limits with stone. Okay, so these things are old and they're big. So for all
Can we recap that name? What was that name again?
Gaius Sextius. So for short, his name is Gay Sex.
How could that not be like a porn star's name?
I don't know, but it is. It's gay. So it's probably Gaius. So Gaius. That was probably Gaius, right?
I like gay is better.
And Sextius is Sextius. You can't change that around. You know what I mean? Like that's
Sex.
so Gay Sex over here marked the area with stone. So basically everyone knew what it was. So another interesting little tidbit here is that the mass graves led to the creation of the Paris catacombs that we covered way back in April of 2020. So almost 5 years ago. So the Holy Innocent Cemetery was the oldest and largest cemetery in Paris. Sources describe the cemetery as early as the 12th century, so plenty of time to pile up all those cool corpses. The pits would be open, and each pit would contain around 1,500 bodies. It would be covered once the pit was full, and a new pit would be opened. It was commonly used for mass burials. Eventually, it was closed in 1780 due to being overused, because of too many fucking bodies,
Yeah.
Yeah. In 1786, the bodies were exhumed and moved to unused subterranean quarries, now known as the catacombs. And we'll leave you with one more fun little thing about this place, too. Many bodies had incompletely decomposed and had reduced into large deposits of fat, or what they call corpse wax, or adipocere?
Sure.
We're going to just call it corpse wax and just move away from that word. Chiefly in the form of palmitic acid. This fat was collected during the exhumation and turned into fucking candles and soap made from human corpses.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the thing. That's what they did. So all these bodies are sitting there and they start to decompose and the fat starts to congeal. And somebody went, I bet I could make a fucking candle out of that.
So the more I was reading about that, there are, I guess there's like rumors or like tales of people actually making people actually like doing that like on like a large scale using human fat to make that kind of stuff at one point. But
I knew about the soap. I knew about the soap part. I didn't know about the candles.
Well, but I guess from what I can tell and from what I got out of it, the use of it with the catacombs bodies is the only like actual documented use of that ever being done.
Oh,
So,
really?
Like if you hear from other like places and stuff like that most likely wasn't true. They think that because of the fact that they did, and I guess they used it for like the stuff that they made out of the human whatever, like they used it for like certain stuff though. Like it wasn't just like people going to buy fucking people soap.
You can use the Ivory or you can use Bill.
Steve.
Which one would you like to use? Yeah, that's crazy.
How's Bill smelling these days?
So, as we've stated, there are numerous reasons that mass graves were used, war being a major player. As time went on, more and more graves were uncovered that were directly related to wartime casualties. Of course, a lot of people die during wars, and a lot of people die all at one freaking time.
No.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, you clearly misunderstand how war is.
Yeah. Slingshots. That's what we use. Slingshots.
Yeah, dude.
So recently, a mass grave was found in Spain that pushed back the estimated time the historians thought large scale warfare started. But this is actually really cool, by the way.
Yeah.
The Neolithic site was thought to be a mass grave stemming from some massacre, but new evidence has brought the conclusion that these bodies, almost all young men, were soldiers that were part of a warrior class of people. The evidence includes some weapons in and around the grave, numerous healed wounds on the victims showing that they had been fighting for some time, arrowheads and axes, and other items that indicated, that they were fighters. Author Teresa Fernandez Crespo, an archaeologist at the University of Valladolid in Spain.
I have a buddy whose last name is Crespo.
Oh, well, maybe they're related.
Probably not.
Oh, probably not. So she's an archaeologist at the University of Valladolid in Spain, and her team.
Dahlia onions.
Yes, her team described the healed and unhealed injuries on the skeletons. So they're looking at these skeletons and they can see that, like, okay, they've been fighting for a while because this person may have had a broken arm and it healed, or this one had got stabbed by a whatever and it healed up or whatever. So you can kind of go back and kind of surmise that, okay, these guys were fighters. You know what I mean? Which is really cool. So they found a total of 107 cranial injuries, most of which were located on the top of the skull and likely corresponded to blunt force trauma, such as blows from stone maces or wooden clubs. Nearly 5 times as many males as females suffered cranial trauma. And injuries on the rest of the skeletons were also examined. The team discovered 22 instances of trauma, mostly spiral or V-shaped fractures, affecting the limbs, as well as 25 injuries to other parts of the body. Like the skull injuries, these seem to have disproportionately affected men, who were nearly 4 times as likely as women to have evidence of bodily trauma. Arrowhead injuries were also strongly linked to male skeletons, suggesting men were more often exposed to long-range violence than women were. So basically, they're saying the men were the scrappers.
Right.
They were the ones that were out there doing this. And obviously, everyone's probably thinking, yeah, well, we fucking knew that. Or we kind of assume that, because if you watch anything with, like, the Croods or anything, the man was the hunter-gatherer, But what they're saying is that this is way earlier than what we initially expected, or suspected, should I say.
Right, out of like for like a warrior class of people, basically.
Right. So all told, adolescent and adult males buried at this site accounted for 97.6 of unhealed trauma and 81.7 of healed trauma recorded in skeletons whose biological sex could actually be estimated. This finding suggests, according to the study's author, that the mass grave represents, quote, one or more war layers resulting from battles and or raids where the involvement of males was dominant. This discovery may push the date that historians thought large-scale warfare back over like 1,000 years. So they're thinking this is actually 1,000 years prior due to carbon dating and stuff on these skeletons.
Yeah.
That's insane. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the cool.
So basically, they're saying that now they think that, like, tribal war and stuff like that happened 1,000 years before they thought it did.
Right.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing about science, is that, science is always there. It's always relevant.
Science.
It's always, can kind of be proven or disproven, but it always changes. And I love that. Yeah. I absolutely fucking love that. So now we could discuss mass graves from the Central Wars, World War I, World War II, the Civil War, Vietnam, and others. But I mean, there's a lot going on with all those. So we're going to talk about a few lesser known things as far as graves are concerned here. So the first one on our list is from here in the United States. It resulted from casualties from the War of 1812. The grave is on. Yeah, if you guys want to hear what we talked about from the War of 1812, get on over to Patreon and sign up for that. It's on Crab Island, this grave. And if you're not from New York or a big history buff about the War of 1812, you've probably never heard of Crab Island.
I never did.
Well, Crab Island is an island located on Lake Champlain. It's a 40 or so acre limestone island. The island was used as a military hospital for American and British soldiers during the war. So it's basically just this little itty bitty island in the middle of where everyone was fighting. And they were like, well, that's where we could put the bodies, right? Yeah, just leave them there. Yeah. So there was a mass grave on the island containing the remains of roughly 150 soldiers. The soldiers were casualties of the Battle of Plattsburgh. And if you want to hear more about that, again, head on over to Patreon. Now, this battle is this bonus episode that we actually did, and it's pretty wild. I'm not even lying about this, especially considering that we found out that they built their ships on the lake.
Yeah.
It's not like they brought them in and then put them in the water. They built them right there. It's ridiculous. It's so crazy. So the military hospital on Crab Island was established around September 6, 1814, just before the Battle of Plattsburgh. The hospital consisted mainly of rows of tents. You can call them tents, but basically just like lean-tos or just fabric things, quickly constructed of boards and canvas and several hastily built log structures. Convalescent or invalid soldiers were unable to fight, were initially evacuated to the island before the commencement of hostilities to prevent them from becoming caught up or overrun by the fighting ashore. So in other words, if you were an invalid or say you were wounded or whatever, they were like, we're going to put you over on the island. But that's the island where all the dead people go.
Ridiculous word, by the way.
What's that?
Invalid.
Well, they're invalid.
It's funny though, because like it's just one of those words that like it's not even particularly bad, but you just don't use it ever anymore. Like, you don't go to the hospital and they're like, "Oh, your son's an invalid." You know.
It's an old word. Yeah, it's a very old word. Well, it reminds me of invalid. So if you're an invalid, you're invalid.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean?
I was thinking the same thing.
It diminishes everything that you have had. It's so weird. It's a bad word, but whatever. It's almost like the R word that they used to use back in the day. Retard. Yes, which is still a word they use, and it just means slow. So anyway, no one's trying to make fun of anything or anything like that. We're just saying that words. That's just what they are, folks.
The words, dude.
Yep.
It's a bunch of letters put together.
That's it. So the dead, including those that died on the island and those that washed ashore, again, they were around 150 people. They were buried shoulder to shoulder in 3 long trenches to the south of the hospital. The bodies of officers killed in the battle, including one initially buried on Crab Island, all received military burials in Plattsburgh's Riverside Cemetery. At the same time, the enlisted men were left in the mass graves out on the island. Crab Island is purported to be one of the only places in the world where both British and American soldiers were buried indiscriminately in the same graves. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought so too.
And you could visit. You can actually go to this.
Yeah,
you can go to Crab Island. It's kind of crazy that instead of moving the bodies, they left them there and then had a ceremony
for the officers.
Yeah, over at the Riverside Cemetery. That is so crazy.
Fuck you. We're going to move you over here, though, with all the good people.
Do we just need to take a trip up there? What is that, like maybe 8 hours from us?
Probably about that.
Yeah, 6 to 8, right?
About 8 hours.
We should do that. We should go up there and check that out because it sounds really cool to go visit that.
Yeah.
Next up, we have not one, but numerous mass graves as a result of the Rwandan genocide. And this is where it starts getting pretty fucked up, folks. Yeah. So now, coincidentally, we briefly touched on the Rwandan genocide in our War Criminals episode. And if you did not listen to that, go back and listen. One of the guys we talked about was wanted for partaking in the activities of a said genocide because he's such a swell fella. The Rwandan genocide took place in 1994 over roughly 100 days. In this short span, between 800,000 and 1 million people were killed. Just gonna let that sink in for a second. 800,000 to 1 million people. The town I live in has 1,200 people in it.
So, just so everybody is aware, that's not the biggest body count we get into this one.
Oh, no, not at all. No.
This is a warm up.
Yeah. It gets pretty brutal. Yeah. But I mean, 800, dude, almost 1 million people, upwards toward 1 million people.
There are people that that claim it was more than that, and they're basically saying that like there are people that are trying to like, I mean, not that you can, but like make it not seem as bad
Downplay
by lowering the estimates of how many people.
I don't care what you say.
Right? No, I know.
Unless it was 1 billion people, you know what I mean?
And imagine the fact that like they're like, let's downplay it and make it sound better. Let's go with 1 million.
Right. Then what was the real number then?
That's what I'm saying. Dude.
Jesus Christ.
What did they think it was, man?
Yeah, that's so
If
crazy.
1 million dead people is your better option,
That's your
like,
go-to number? Yeah. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. So now most of those who were killed were Tutsi people killed by militias made up of Hutu soldiers and Hutu civilians. Decades of tensions between the two groups finally came to a head, and that led to the violent stretch that ended the lives of so many people. 100 days, 1 million people. Okay? That is absolutely crazy. I'm really bad at math, so what is that? Is that 1,000 people a day?
10,000 people a day
10,000 people a day for 100 days.
for 100 days.
What the So mass graves
Oh my
can
God,
be...
dude, nuts.
Huh?
Jesus Christ,
That's
crazy.
insane, dude. That's literally like whole countries being completely, you know what I mean? Like,
Obliterated,
yeah,
dude.
like that's insane. So mass graves can be found throughout Rwanda as a result of this genocide. Most of these mass graves were hastily dug and filled in to try and hide the scale of the massacre. Most were unmarked and in remote areas, making them difficult to find. And we're talking about, you know, Rwanda in the jungles is what we're talking about there.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't like, you know, some little wide open field. Like they're going and hiding these things.
This isn't Gettysburg, bro.
Right. So I'm going to say it's Nyanza. Does that sound right? The former capital of Rwanda?
Oh yeah, because exactly. I know what that is.
Exactly.
How to pronounce it.
Okay. And
Yeah.
if I said that wrong to any of our Rwandan listeners or anyone out there, I do apologize. But Nyanza, I think that
Do you
sounds
think
right.
anybody in Rwanda listens to this?
It's possible. Why not?
Well, I'm saying, do you think you think we have one person in Rwanda
I'd have to look at our
that's like,
analytics, but it's very possible. Yeah.
that these guys are the shit and I'm going to listen to them.
Yeah. I think they're listening to it right now. Probably like,
This will be the last time they ever listen to us.
they're going, they're fucking it up. They're fucking it up. So, so this place is a significant location during this entire genocide. It is the site of numerous mass graves. Many Tutsi people, Tutsi. I don't want to make it sound like Tootsie, like Tootsie Roll or Tootsie
Like
Pop.
the movie.
Yeah, like the movie. Who was that?
Is that Dustin Hoffman?
Dustin Hoffman as a woman.
was like a
Yes.
woman?
Yeah. Because he couldn't get the job he wanted, so he dressed up like a woman. What a horrible, horrible movie. So bad. No, this is Tutsi. So the U, it's a U instead of a double O. So.
Tutsi.
Correct. Tutsi. So they sought refuge in schools and churches and only to be massacred by the Hulu, or Hutu. Hulu. That'd be weird.
Oh no!
Can you imagine if like Hulu representatives showed up and like, yeah, it's we're going to raise the price.
You just called them Hoolies.
Hutu. So the Nyanza Genocide Memorial is at the site of the largest mass grave found there. Okay, so you can't actually visit this, and I can only imagine how macabre that is. Because I've been to quite a few different areas. I know, blah blah blah. Anyway, but like Pearl Harbor. No, I'm just saying you're going to make fun of me for
John.
being. Yeah,
I've
there it is.
been
There it is. That's what I was
everywhere.
waiting for. Yeah.
You name it, I've seen it. They call me Traveling John.
Well, I went to Pearl Harbor, dude, and that was so. God, was that so just drab? I mean, nobody was speaking. Nobody. And you're just walking around.
What the fuck are you gonna say, dude?
Well, I'm just saying, like, even to each other. You know what I mean? Like, nobody was like, there were groups of people, and there was just this sense of just complete morbid, just staleness, you know?
Yeah.
And there was also like there were a lot of Asian people there as well, and they were. It was just this. It's really cool that everyone can kind of go and share it together, but it's so macabre and dark when you go. And
That's human nature, though, man. Like you don't want to admit it, but you're interested in that kind of shit.
right, and not only that, but you know you're literally walking atop. What is
It's
it?
history, bro.
It's the U.S.
fucking
Arizona, right? USS Arizona. I believe that's the one that's underwater.
Is that Arizona?
I believe so. I could be mistaken, but it's still leaking oil to this day, and there's bodies of the soldiers still down there. And anybody who was left alive when they died, they had the option of being put down there with the rest of their crew members.
Look, I totally would have done that. 100% would have done that.
But just think about
Yeah,
that.
it's the Arizona. Yeah.
It is Arizona. Okay, good. So my time over there wasn't completely wasted. It's just so much, dude. I'm telling you,
I couldn't remember because of all the other places I've been. Woo-wee, traveling Johnny here.
moving on. So
I'm gonna make that a fucking shirt.
what's that? Traveling Johnny?
Traveling John. It's gonna be. It's gonna be like a.
No,
You ever seen the old Mountain Dew ads?
yes.
The
Oh yeah.
old prospector
With the
guy?
beard, they had the
That's gonna be. It's gonna be that, but with your face on it and like carrying a bindle.
A
just
bindle.
Like, I'm traveling Johnny.
Jesus. Okay. So
Holy
the
shit, it's coming. That shirt's coming. I don't
All
care.
right,
If I have to do it myself, I'll do it. But
we'll
it's
work
coming.
on it. We'll get it done. So the capital city, Kigali, saw some of the most brutal killings during the genocide. Mass graves were uncovered in various parts of the city, including the Kigali Genocide Memorial, which houses the remains of over 250,000 individuals. This memorial serves as both a grave site and an educational center to preserve the memory of those that were lost. One spot, 250,000 people.
That's nuts, dude.
Yeah. I mean, and just to put things into kind of like context, what was it? Between 2,000 and 3,000 people died in the towers during 9/11.
Wait, how many?
I believe
I
it was,
thought it was only like 3,000.
I said between 2,000 and 3,000.
Oh, I thought you said 30. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it wasn't that many.
No. But I
I feel
mean,
like I would have heard that.
that's my point is that we're talking about a million people, and in something catastrophic like what happened with the Twin Towers in New York back in what was that, 2001? Was that happen?
No, that was shit. Maybe I don't fucking remember. I'm sorry. That's terrible. I know, but
Anyway, so when
so
that
just let me throw this into perspective for you. The city of Cleveland, Ohio, not like the surrounding suburbs, but the city, a major city in Ohio,
the city proper,
right? How many people were in that grave? 250,000.
in that one grave, 250.
Okay, in 2024, the Cleveland, Ohio had a population of 362,656 people. So that would be like literally almost the whole city of Cleveland and its inhabitants.
And if
just
you've never
fucking
been to
wiped out.
Cleveland, it's huge. Cleveland is, it's not like a metropolis like New York or anything like that, but it's a pretty damn big city.
Sprawls, man.
Yeah,
That's what
it's
it
a big
is. The downtown ain't huge, but it sprawls.
Yeah, it's a big city, man. Comparatively speaking, obviously.
That's nuts though. So in that one grave would be like if you killed off like 3/4 of the population of Cleveland.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
In one grave.
And yeah, that's just one grave.
Right. That's so, what the fuck? So the Nyamata Genocide Memorial, located about 30 kilometers south of Kigali, is one of the most significant sites for remembering the genocide. The memorial is built on the site of a former church where thousands of Tutsi civilians had taken refuge. Most of them were killed in the church or mass graves nearby. So like they were literally putting people in graves and then killing them.
Yeah, they were just throwing them in there and shooting them.
Yeah, I mean that feels worse to me. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't that feel worse? Like you already like you're adding insult to injury because you're already scared because you're in this grave, like you know what's coming, and then oh my god.
So also for perspective, the total amount of people that died, so around a million people, is the same as if you wiped out the entire population of either Fort Worth, Texas, Jacksonville, Florida, Austin, Texas, San Jose, Charlotte, and Columbus, Ohio are all around that million mark.
Holy shit.
So that'd be like yeah, like they would, like, you know how big Columbus is. They
It's
like
huge.
basically they would wipe out all the population of Columbus.
Wow. Man, wow. And then here also too, like, I mean, look at, like, I hate to use the COVID thing, but look at COVID. It wasn't even remotely close to 1 million people. You know what I mean? And that was a global pandemic.
I think they broke 1 million with that.
No, I don't think it was
I'm
that much.
almost positive.
No, I don't think so. I feel like I could
think
be
it
wrong,
was.
but I think it was like way less
What's
than
the
that.
over under? I'm putting money on it.
You're putting money on it? I got 20 on under. It's so bad that we're betting on
That's
this right
awful, dude. Yes.
We're totally not betting money on this, folks. We're kidding.
Yes, we are.
50. I said 50.
I hear death toll. Baba de boop boop bee. Oh yeah. 7,010,681 deaths.
Holy shit. All
Yeah,
right.
7
I was wrong and I will take
Correct.
that. I apologize.
But that would still not be the highest body count of anything on this list.
No, we're still going at it. Yeah, this is rough. So that place that I was just talking about, the Nyamata Genocide Memorial, holds the remains of a lot of the victims and efforts to exhume additional graves. They're still going. Like
They keep, dude.
they
I
keep
don't know.
finding more and
I was
more.
gonna say, I don't know if it said it in there, but they're actually still discovering graves.
Yeah. So the Murambi Genocide Memorial is located in the southern part of Rwanda. During the genocide, thousands of Tutsi refugees were killed here. The memorial is situated on the site of a former school where many of the victims were murdered and buried in mass graves. Some of the victims' bodies were exhumed and preserved to show the brutality of the genocide. That's fucked up, kind of, to me. Anyway, I mean,
It's
I
like
get
look
it.
what you've done.
I get it, but you're gonna.
I mean, honestly though, like if
I
you have
get it.
generations of people growing up seeing how bad it really was,
Yeah, I get it.
that kind of like makes them like, maybe we don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm still tripping. There were
I don't
over
know.
7 million people for damn. Anyway, Murambi remains one of the most prominent and haunting sites of the entire catastrophe here. Bisesero is one of the most significant locations for mass graves associated with this genocide, especially given the resistance put up by the Tutsi population in this area. As the genocide unfolded, thousands of Tutsis tried to escape the killings by hiding in the Bisesero hills. However, the Hutu militias eventually tracked them down and killed them. Many of the victims were buried in mass graves scattered around the mountain. Bisesero is now home to a memorial to those who perished there. I mean, think also too. What is that? The 4th or 5th memorial we're talking about here, because of how
in Rwanda's not that big either.
because of how horrible this was. The northwestern regions of Rwanda, particularly Ruhengeri and Gisenyi, saw mass killings of Tutsis, with many bodies dumped into mass graves near villages, hills, and forests. Many of these graves were only discovered years after the genocide ended. These areas are also home to some of Rwanda's largest memorial sites. Now, these are just a fraction of the graves uncovered in Rwanda. They are still discovering graves to this day and trying to help survivors identify to put their loved ones to rest. At least 6 significant graves have been found since 2020. In October of 2023, a grave was uncovered in Huye, containing at least another 1,000 people killed during the genocide. So they're literally still finding mass graves all over the place. So that number that we said earlier could be way higher. You know what I mean? Right now, it's just a perspective number. And like you said, Moody said this earlier, where it may be a diminished number where they're like, oh, no, it wasn't that bad.
I mean, think about it. Just so they based that estimate, they're saying, off of what they found so far, right? And the populations at the time and things like that. But like, they're still finding fucking graves, man.
Well, here's something fucked up for you.
Like, how can you estimate it when you're still finding shit that you
Right.
didn't? You're like, oh fuck, here's another 400. Like,
Exactly. I mean, 1,000 at a time, dude. That's gonna fucking. You know what I mean? You're gonna hit a bigger number real quick. So some people know the locations of more graves, but refuse to tell the locations due to lingering resentments and hatred of the Tutsi people. Even though there has been a shift in the way people perceive each other in the country for the most part, there is still an underlying hatred in many Hutu people. This is literally just. It's not even race. This is two different like tribes basically that hate.
it's essentially at that point it's just ethnicity.
Right.
It's not like race. It's it's different. It's
So again, these are just a few of the memorials and stuff there. They're still finding these things all the time, and we know some of these episodes. We get pretty dark with a lot of things. And we tend to showcase the worst in humanity. But the good news is, if that last one was a little rough for you guys, well, it's about to get way worse. So we're sorry. And like we said from the beginning, this is definitely going to be a pretty dark episode. So the killing fields of the Khmer Rouge are home to mass graves containing the remains of more than 1.3 million people. Okay. The Khmer Rouge is the name that was popularly given to the members of the Communist Party of Kampuchea, or the CPK, and by extension to Democratic Kampuchea, which ruled Cambodia between 1975 and 1979 under the leadership of a super swell guy named Pol Pot. And fuck that guy. Real bad dude. If you guys don't know who that is, we might cover that someday, but I doubt it because fuck him. Anyway. Just a horrible human being. So their goal was to create a radical agrarian society, eliminating class distinctions by forcing urban populations into the countryside to work in collective farms and labor camps. Seems right? Yeah.
Sure.
Let's do that.
So the only class there is at that point is the ruling class.
Correct. Yeah. So during their rule, the Khmer Rouge carried out a brutal campaign of mass executions, forced labor, starvation, and disease, leading to the deaths of an estimated 1.7 to 2 million people, about a quarter of Cambodia's population at that time. Wow.
Yeah.
Victims included intellectuals, professionals, religious figures, and anyone suspected of opposing the regime. The Khmer Rouge regime arrested and ultimately executed nearly all individuals suspected of having ties to the former government or foreign entities, along with professionals and intellectuals. Ethnic Vietnamese, Thai, Chinese, and Cham, I'm not sure what Cham is, but as well as Cambodian Christians and Buddhist monks were specifically targeted for persecution. Due to these actions, Pol Pot has been widely regarded as a genocidal tyrant. He's one of the worst, folks.
Really? I wonder why.
Yeah, he's one of the worst. The following is taken from a book called War, Violence, and Population, Making the Body Count. Quote, in order to save ammunition, the executions were often carried out using poison or improvised weapons such as sharpened bamboo sticks, hammers, machetes, and axes. Inside the Buddhist memorial stupa at Shuing Ek, there is evidence of bayonets, knives, wooden clubs, hoes for farming, and curved scythes being used to kill victims, with images of skulls damaged by these implements as evidence. In some cases, the children and infants of adult victims were killed by having their heads bashed against the trunks of chinkiri trees and then were thrown into the pits alongside their parents. The rationale was, quote, to stop them growing up and taking revenge for their parents' deaths, end quote. Oof.
Yeah.
Whew, dude, I'm telling you, when I went through this the first time, I just knots in my stomach, and
it's bad, dude.
they're back. Yeah, they're
Gross,
back.
dude.
The killing fields are on are the site of the most are the site of most of the buried bodies from this horrendous regime. So that's the killing fields is where they're located. There are many mass graves and many bodies. From 1979 to 1997, old dickhead Pol Pot remained with the Khmer Rouge, operating from remote jungle bases. The
I
group,
also didn't realize that he was alive as long as he was.
yeah, that's wild. I mean, we're talking the late 90s, dude. You know what I mean? Like, the group continued insurgency efforts, receiving support from China and, for a time, Western governments due to Cold War politics. Yeah. Western governments. That's... In 1985, he officially stepped down.
Western government.
Say what?
A Western government.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about which one. Let's just keep going.
There's no fucking plural there.
Yeah. Oh, God. In 1985, he officially stepped down as Khmer Rouge leader, but remained the real power behind the movement. The Paris Peace Agreements were signed in 1991, aiming to restore stability in Cambodia. However, the Khmer Rouge refused to disarm. A faction within the Khmer Rouge, led by Ta Mok, arrested Pol Pot and put him on trial in a show of an internal rebellion. He was sentenced to fucking house arrest in 1997. So the person responsible for
2 million people
2
died.
million deaths,
Or more, possibly.
I'm going to say probably way more, was put on a house arrest.
Yeah.
The good news is, though, is that he died the following year from a heart attack. So in 1998.
Dude, I was 18 years old and that fucking dude died.
Oh, yeah. That's wild, right?
That's crazy.
I was out of fucking high school and everything. Yeah. It's so whatever.
Dude, Chainsaw was already like 94.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, some people actually suspect that he was poisoned or took his own life to avoid capture, which doesn't make sense because he was already on house arrest. So maybe he just didn't want to go to prison. And maybe this was just like a
Possibly.
temporary thing.
Well, that was like house arrest from his own people, though. That wasn't like house arrest from like the government or
Oh, that is
national
true.
court or
Yeah,
anything like that.
yeah. His own people were just like, we're going to put you
So
in
he
here.
might
for
have
now.
maybe he thought they were about to sell him out or something.
Yeah, it's very
and he
possible.
decided to say fuck it.
His death came just as Cambodian authorities and international forces were closing in to arrest him for his crimes.
Oh, there you go.
These atrocities were a crazy time in Cambodia, all right, obviously. And we were discussing mass graves, but the history behind them is pretty nuts. We described just a fraction of what went down there, but we wanted to give you some details. Going down is a fascinating rabbit hole, or, this fascinating rabbit hole here. If you're interested in doing this, like, it's going to, I'm telling you, you're going to be in for not a treat. I don't want to say that. Nightmares. We'll put it that way. Nightmares.
It will show you how bad it can possibly be.
Yeah. The mass graves and the killing fields of Cambodia make up one of the largest collections of bodies buried in one area in the world. So mass graves can come about for numerous reasons, like we've said. We've talked about 2 genocide-driven times where mass graves were brought about, one being mainly political-driven, and one driven by ethnic hatred. We've also included one from war, which, there are many throughout the ages, obviously. Other causes of mass graves include natural disasters, disease, famine, criminal and human rights driven mass graves. I mean, there's so many reasons for this. So now, in the aftermath of 2004, in the Indian Ocean tsunami, many hard-hit areas resorted to mass graves due to the sheer number of dead. And I remember this entire thing, dude.
Oh, I remember this whole thing going down too.
And the hopes of preventing disease from spreading. Okay,
Dude,
so
the
that
videos of the fucking water coming into the cities.
Absolutely.
Insane.
what was that damn movie they made? It had what the fuck is her name? Oh, I don't know. But dude, like they were underwater.
Was it what the fuck?
What's her
I
name?
know what you're talking about.
Naomi Watts. That's
Naomi
who it was.
Watts, I think you might be right.
Yeah. What the dude intense. Oh my, I could
Where it's like her and her son and they're trying to get back to the rest of her family or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I couldn't nope. I
That's like
couldn't
a true story too,
Yeah.
apparently.
couldn't do it. Nope. So there are several large mass graves in Indonesia, which was the hardest hit in the area. Uli Lui, I'm hoping I'm saying that correct. The village there has 14,000 unidentified tsunami victims buried there. People continue to visit and leave flowers to keep the memory of those who died alive. Thailand, India, and Sri Lanka also used mass graves as a way to deal with the death toll in their respective areas. Sri Lanka not only has mass graves due to the tsunami, where more than 35,000 people died, but they also have mass graves stemming from a civil war that they had. Yeah. So now,
Good old Sri Lanka.
yeah, let's talk about some of these some other ones here. All right. The Mannar mass grave, or Manar. Okay. A mass grave discovered in Manar.
Money at Manar.
That's Menards,
Sorry.
I believe, but yeah.
Sorry.
This is a town in a former war zone, has become the country's. This is in Sri Lanka. Sorry.
Yeah.
So this is one of the mass graves there.
Yeah. I switched it up to, since we were on Sri Lanka, I figured we would just might
Right.
as well throw the war ones in there too.
So there's 230 skeletons found in this one, and that's the Manar mass grave. And then there's the Matale or Matal mass grave, and it's linked to the counterinsurgency operations during the second JVP uprising, with allegations of extrajudicial killings and mass burials. Then there's the, Suryakanda mass grave, and it's a burial ground of murdered school children from the Empalabitaya Maya Vidyalaya.
What the fuck did you just say, dude?
Empalabitaya. Oh man, I had it right the first time.
No, you did not.
Yes, Empalabitaya. Embilpataya. Yeah. Okay, I'm probably fucking. Anyway, so it's a high school. It was a high school
Holy shit. Dude.
in Sri Lanka. And apparently a bunch of
fucking
school kids were killed and buried as part of a counterinsurgency during the second JVP uprising in Sri Lanka.
Please, people understand that that's not what I'm laughing at.
No, he's laughing at my stupidity for not being able to read words. It was alleged that over 300 bodies were buried in the location. And the mass grave was located in 1994 from a high school. Like they went in for an insurgents and freaking just killed all these, I'm assuming kids, and well, probably teachers and stuff as well. So yeah, Sri Lanka is not a stranger to mass graves. Now let's talk about Haiti. Haiti was the site of a massive earthquake on January 12, 2010. This disaster caused the deaths of 160,000, or between 160,000 to 230,000 people. With bodies piling up in the streets and concerns over disease outbreaks, authorities had to rapidly dispose of thousands of bodies. And again, think about that too. Especially nowadays when you have a lot of unfortunate loss and a lot of people that have died, disease can really become rampant real fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you've got these bodies breaking down and all kinds of things can happen. So you have to work really fast to try and, I guess, put them somewhere. So now many were buried in unmarked graves, making later identification nearly impossible. Earth movers and trucks were used to transport and dump bodies into mass burial sites. Some bodies were also burned to prevent health risks. Most mass graves were dug in Titanian, a barren area north of Port-au-Prince, historically used for political executions during past regimes. Disease is a common denominator in a lot of these mass graves. Between the plague and the Spanish flu epidemics, Europe is littered with mass graves dug to try and prevent the spread of the diseases, while at the same time trying to deal with the enormous amounts of bodies just piling up. More recently, and I touched on this earlier, during the COVID pandemic, many countries, including the United States, employed the use of large-scale burials to deal with the quickly rising death tolls. This comes from an article from thecity.nyc. Quote, the New York City Human Resources Administration has increased the number of bodies in each of the city's mass graves on Hart Island in recent months, with as many 200 caskets in each trench. That's up from what has been a standard 150 caskets per trench, as the number of burials there went up significantly last year. The 100-plus acre island in the Long Island Sound, just east of City Island, has served as the city's burial ground since 1869 for the bodies of unclaimed New Yorkers and those whose families couldn't afford funeral arrangements. More than 1 million people are buried there, making it one of the largest burial grounds in the United States.
So the fucked up thing about that is, have you ever heard of that before?
I have never
Never
heard of that before.
There is 1 million people buried on a fucking island of New York, and I've never heard of it before.
That is insane. Yeah, I've never heard of that. And where is City Island at? I know the Long Island Sound. I know what that is.
It's in the city.
Thank you.
Oh, you take a shitty island.
Shitty Walk, can I help you? So this fact is crazy.
It's not Shitty Island.
Shitty Island, can I help you? Yeah, again, it's like 8 hours away from us, and we've never heard of that. So cholera epidemics.
That might be like 10.
It might be. Cholera epidemics in London, New York, and India led to many, many deaths. These bodies were most often buried in mass graves to try again and stop the spread of the disease. To this day, cholera graves.
It didn't really work that well, though.
Huh?
It didn't really work that well.
No. Well, they didn't know what the fuck they were dealing with. But they're still digging up cholera graves to this day.
Yeah, when they do like new construction and shit, they're finding like cholera graves.
Yeah.
Like,
just you putting in a
imagine
new
that, like,
development.
You're building a house, you're like digging out the foundation, you're like, huh, seems like there's an awful lot of arms in this stretch of land.
Yeah, and I've seen
what the fuck, dude?
I've seen poltergeists, so I'm not doing that. You know?
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm not building a house on a grave. Not doing that. Now we're going to look at some criminal and human rights driven mass graves because, this isn't dark enough, right?
Oh, that sounds great.
Yes.
I'm glad we're finally lightening the mood.
Yes. So now drug cartels have been responsible for thousands upon thousands of deaths, often disposing of victims in mass graves across Latin America.
On a side note, if you're a guy in a cartel and you're listening to this, like, don't kill us.
Yeah, no. Don't kill the messengers. We're just reading.
No.
We're just reading. These graves, also known as, narcofosas, are frequently used to hide executions, kidnappings, and disappearances. Mexico has been the most affected by cartel-related mass graves due to ongoing violence between drug cartels, government forces, and civilians caught in the crossfire. Oh boy. In 2010, the Los Zetas cartel kidnapped and executed 72 migrants in San Fernando, many from Central America, who refused to work for the cartel. In 2011, authorities found 193 bodies in mass graves, many belonging to bus passengers who were just kidnapped and forced to fight to the death for cartel entertainment. That's fucked up.
And then, like, the last one alive, did they just kill him? And they were like, hey, congratulations. Now you're going to die.
Or he's part of the cartel now.
Oh, maybe.
He's proven himself, I guess. I don't know.
That's
The
true.
Iguala mass graves were discovered in 2014 during the search for 43 missing students from Ayotzinapa who were abducted and allegedly killed by a cartel in collusion with corrupt police.
Look. You had students massacred here. You
Mhm.
had students massacred at the other place.
Yeah.
And then people still wonder why I never went to college, man.
Is that why?
No.
Aw. Hold on. So multiple graves were found containing charred and dismembered bodies, though only a few were linked to the actual students. In Veracruz, forensic experts uncovered over 250 skulls in a mass grave believed to be a dumping ground for cartel victims. In Jalisco, authorities discovered graves linked to the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, known for mass executions. Let's see, Colombia's cartel wars and paramilitary conflicts from the 1980s to the 2000s led to mass killings, primarily by the one and only Pablo Escobar and his Medellin cartel.
Not to be confused with Pumpkin Escobar.
Correct. I never put those two together before.
Well, Pumpkin Escobar, that's from Jay and Silent Bob.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I don't know. But I never put the last name together.
Tracy Morgan's character in that movie.
Oh, is it? His name's Pump.
Yeah.
Ah, that's
Pumpkin
hilarious.
Escobar.
And so then there's the La Escambrera, Medellin, one of the largest mass graves in Latin America. This site contains victims of cartel and paramilitary violence. The Meta and Putumayo regions, authorities have found graves from the height of cocaine wars between the cartels and FARC guerrillas. El Salvador, dominated by gangs like MS-13 and Barrio 18, have seen mass graves used to dispose of murdered rivals, police, and civilians. In Chalchuapa, in 2021, a former police officer working with gangs was arrested after authorities found dozens of bodies buried in his home. Many were young women and rival gang members.
What does he think he is? John Wayne Gacy?
I guess.
Hiding bodies in the crawl space and shit?
In, let's see, the
Why
Peten
would you keep
massacre.
them in your house? That's
I don't
the
know.
dumbest shit you could do.
That is so dumb.
Oh, my God.
This is in Guatemala. The Los Zetas cartel massacred and buried 27 farm workers suspected of being linked to a rival cartel. Suspected of.
Yeah, they didn't even know. They don't have proof. They're
Right.
like, hey, some dude, some crackhead down the street said that you guys might be a part of this, so we're just going to kill you all.
And in Honduras, the La Lima in 2020, dozens of bodies found in mass graves linked to gang turf wars and cartel executions. Now, listen, here's how I look at the whole gang and drug thing. Let them fucking kill each other.
I agree. 100%.
Stop fucking with
And then
innocent
when there's
people.
only one cartel left, then you swoop in and fucking just
Yeah.
destroy.
Let them kill it. Let them do their own thing. But it's always the innocent people that are just getting fucking, killed.
That's
And
the worst. That's the worst part about it.
100%. It's so stupid.
Fucking kidnapping students and fucking massacring kids and what it's like. What the fuck do they have to do with it?
It's ridiculous. So now, I'm sure a lot of you guys out there, if you're listening to this show, have probably heard about the Jonestown Massacre.
The
A guy by the name of Jim Jones, Reverend Jim Jones. Let's see. People inaccurately
but
they inaccurately call it drinking the Kool-Aid.
it's not Kool-Aid. It's flavor.
It's Flavor Aid. Well, the Jonestown.
I feel the need to point that out whenever somebody says
Yes.
don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Yes.
I'm always like Flavor Aid.
It's Flavor Aid.
I have to. I feel like I have to.
It's Flavor Aid. Yeah. So the Jonestown mass suicide was another source of a mass grave. The grave, however, is not located at the Jonestown site. Instead, it's located in California. And again, hopefully most of you guys know, Jonestown in Guyana became infamous on November 18th of 1978 when over 900 members of the People's Temple cult, led by super turd Jim Jones, died in a mass murder-suicide. Many victims, including children, were forced to drink cyanide-laced Flavor Aid in what Jones called, quote, revolutionary suicide. And a lot of them drank it, but a lot of them there were a lot that were shot too.
Yeah, there were.
Because they didn't
there were
wanna do
people
it.
being shot, and
Yeah.
then there was like, they were basically forcing people. Like, because when people would go, there's like audio recordings of this shit.
I was
You
just
can
going to
hear
say,
it.
have you heard it?
Yeah, it's fucking
It's
weird.
Brutal.
And like you can hear people like don't want to do it, but they're like
Crying.
No, take it, blah blah blah.
Yep.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And you hear him going, no, children, no. You know, this is what we all said we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. You
fucking
piece of
really
shit.
weird. It's so offset. It's so off-putting.
Yeah, it's bad. So the Guyanese government lacked the resources to handle the aftermath, leaving hundreds of bodies to decompose in the tropical heat. Fuck. The U.S. sent troops to recover the bodies, transporting
It's like,
them.
Fuck these people, man. This is like what the fuck?
Well, they're probably like, we didn't ask them to be here.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying.
They
They're
bought
like
the land, and the
goddamn
next thing you know, they've got a
crazy-ass
cult.
Americans.
Yeah. So
I'm
the
not
U.S.
fucking dealing with it.
They sent troops to recover the bodies, transporting them to Dover Air Force Base in Delaware for identification. Many victims were unclaimed or unidentified. Okay. In Evergreen Cemetery in Oakland, California, a mass grave was created for over 400 victims, including many children. I didn't know that either.
No, I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that they actually had it out in California. That's crazy. I thought they were basically just buried in
the
Guyana.
funny thing is, I've listened to several podcasts about Jonestown, and none of them have mentioned that.
Exactly.
So you guys are welcome. We're the first.
Yeah, like I don't think I've ever heard that in any podcast that I've listened to about that. That's wild. And I've
That's what
seen
we do here, though, man.
documentaries.
That's what we fucking do here, though.
Damn Skippy,
That's what we fucking do, man.
Jiff.
That's why we're the second favorite podcast, bro.
Yes, America's second favorite podcast.
That's right. And that one fucking guy in where the hell was it?
And where?
Sudan.
No,
The one guy.
Rwanda.
Oh, Rwanda.
Mhm.
There's that one guy sitting there just like, yeah, you know what? That's why you guys are the fucking best.
Exactly, and we
He
love
knows
that
what's up.
Rwandan listener,
Hell yeah, dude.
just like we love everyone listening.
If
home.
you're listening from Rwanda, seriously, reach out to us. 'cause
That'd be
that's
amazing.
fucking amazing.
I swear to God, I'll send you a shirt personally.
He'll drive it over there.
I swear. I don't know if I'm driving to Rwanda anytime soon. All right. So next up, we have the Srebrenica. Oh boy, Srebrenica. Okay, that sounds right.
I think it's the end of it. I think is like a it's almost like a TZ sound. Nitsa, I think is how it's pronounced.
Srebrenica. Oh, that
Yeah.
actually sounds better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of those weird words that sounds Slovenian, and I've picked up a few
Oh, okay.
like
Srebrenica.
pronunciation things about like. So if it's the same as it is in Slovenian, it seems similar enough that I think it's pronounced with like a sa at the end. Itsa.
Okay. Well, the fucked up part is that the next word after that is genocide. So yay. The Srebrenica genocide.
You ruined that whole thing. Now I'm the asshole, man.
It was the slaying of more than 8,000 Bosnian Muslim boys and men perpetrated by Bosnian Serb forces in Srebrenica. Say it again. How'd you say it?
How's it spelled?
Srebrenica.
Srebrenica.
Srebrenica. Okay. It's a town in eastern Bosnia and Herzegovina in July of 1995. This took place. In addition to the killings, more than 20,000 civilians were expelled from the area, a process known as ethnic cleansing. Beginning in 1992, Bosnian Serb forces targeted Srebrenica. I got it right. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
In a campaign to seize control of a block of territory in eastern Bosnia and Herzegovina. Their eventual goal was to annex this territory to the adjacent Republic of Serbia, which, along with the Montenegro, constituted the rump of the Yugoslav Federation. To do so, they believed required the expulsion of the territory's Bosniak inhabitants, who opposed annexation. Yeah, because it's, hey, we want this area. But what
Right.
about these people? No, they have to go.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why we want this area, because we want them out. In March 1995, Radovan Karadzic, president of the self-declared autonomous Republika, the Bosnian Serb Republic, I'm just going to put it that way, directed his military forces to, quote, create an unbearable situation of total insecurity with no hope of further survival or life for the inhabitants of Srebrenica. I'm going to repeat that real quick. This is his quote. Create an unbearable situation of total insecurity with no hope of further survival or life for the inhabitants of Srebrenica. Or Srebrenica. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That somebody in power in the 90s is saying that.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That's
By May, a squad of Bosnian Serb soldiers had imposed an embargo on food and other supplies that provoked most of the town's Bosniak fighters to flee the area. In late June, after some skirmishes with the few remaining Bosniak fighters, the Bosnian Serb Military Command formally ordered the operation codename Kravaja 95 that culminated in the genocide. The offensive commenced on July 6 of 1995 with Bosnian Serb forces advancing from the south and burning Bosniak homes along the way. Amid chaos and terror, thousands of civilians fled Srebrenica for the nearby village of Potokari, which is probably not how you say that, where a contingent of about 200 Dutch peacekeepers were stationed. Some of the Dutch surrendered while others withdrew. None fired on the advancing Bosnian Serb forces. On July 11th, Bosnian Serb military leader Ratko Mladic strolled through Srebrenica and in a statement recorded on film by a Serb journalist said, quote, "We give this town to the Serb nation. The time has come to take revenge on the Muslims." What the shit?
Yeah.
On the night of July 11th, a column of more than 10,000 Bosniak men set off from Srebrenica through dense forest to reach safety. Beginning the following morning, Bosnian Serb officers used UN equipment and made false promises of security to encourage the men to surrender. Oh no, come on in. No, we got no.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Thousands gave themselves up or were captured, and many were subsequently executed. Other Bosniaks were forced out of Potokari that day through the use of terror, including individual murders and rapes committed by Bosnian Serb forces.
Jesus Christ.
The women, children, and other adults were placed aboard buses, some of which had been brought from Serbia, and driven to Bosniak-held territory. The men and boys were taken on July 12th and 13th to various holding sites, mainly in Bratunac.
This is in the 90s, remember, people.
Right. Some killings occurred in the evening of July 12th, but mass evacuations of mostly blindfolded Bosniak males to execution sites began in earnest on the evening of July 13th. The destinations were primarily north of Srebrenica in a 35-mile-long band alongside the Drina River, which marks much of Bosnia's border with Serbia. They included a football field in Bratunac, several meadows and fields near Vlasenica, and Nova a warehouse in Kravica, a factory in Karakaj, a school in Orahovic, oh my God, these words, a dirt road in the Kurska Valley, and a cultural center in Pilica, that's probably wrong. The executions continued at least through July 16th when hundreds of people were reportedly shot at a state farm in the village of Branjevo.
That is not a good neighbor.
I'm going to say that that's not the insurance company, just saying. Although Bosnian Serb forces were primarily responsible for the killings, a police unit from Serbia was recorded on video participating in the execution of 6 Bosniaks. It was discovered later that many of the victims of the genocide had their arms and feet bound. Many of the bodies also showed signs of mutilation. Yeah. The total number of men and boys who were slaughtered was initially a matter of some debate. Under heavy international pressure, the government of the Republika Srpska, which after the conflict formally became a constituent part of Bosnia and Herzegovina, issued an apology in 2004 for the, quote, enormous crimes in Srebrenica. Damn it. It acknowledged that the estimated 7,800 or that an estimated 7,800 people have perished. Although not all sources agree with that figure. It was generally accepted that at least 7,000 people were killed, and the ICTY placed the toll at more than 8,000 people. Fuck. The process of locating graves and identifying the victims was complicated by a well-organized effort undertaken by Bosnian Serb forces in September and October of 95 to hide traces of the Srebrenica crimes. Soldiers used heavy tractors and backhoes to dig up mass graves. They moved the disinterred remains to distant sites, many of which were later located by U.S. intelligence experts using satellite photographs. It required years of analysis by Western scientists using laborious comparisons of soil and tissue samples. shell casings, pollen, and clothing fragments. All these things to piece together exactly where the killings had occurred and how the bodies had been moved among an estimated 80 different mass graves. By 2023, the International Commission on Missing Persons, a non-governmental organization established in 1996, had issued DNA samples to identify more than 7,000 victims. So not only did they go in and do all that horrible, malicious shit and murder these people, but they dug their bodies up and moved them
Yeah.
and did things to cover it all up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, what a... Ugh. I don't like people sometimes. Can I just say
No,
that?
sir. No, sir. I like you, though,
Yeah, I like you too, buddy.
because I know
Just don't
that
throw-
you're not going to kill me
Yeah.
because of me being different than you. you know?
No, I would never. I think different people are cool. You know, I like people that are different. I do. I like people. If we were all the same, it would fucking be boring. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man.
All right.
100% agree with that.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, again, just more mass graves because, people just didn't like each other. That's it.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Another
Not
thing
a lot
came
of
up.
Your kind.
Yeah, I don't like the way you look. Let's just murder everybody.
Yeah, right.
Another thing that came up in our research that we've discussed in a prior episode is the Dozier School for Boys.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right. If you guys don't remember, the school, which operated from 1900 to 2011, was a state-run, which is still crazy that 2011.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that, dude.
It was a state-run reform school known for widespread abuse, neglect, and the mistreatment of boys in its care. Former students had long alleged physical abuse, torture, and even unexplained deaths at the school. Many claimed that boys who tried to escape or resisted authority were severely beaten and, in some cases, killed. In 2012, after repeated calls for an investigation, researchers from the University of South Florida began an archaeological survey of the school grounds. The team discovered 55 unmarked graves, far more than the 31 officially recorded deaths at the school. Many of the remains showed signs of trauma, suggesting violent deaths. In 2019, additional remains were found in a second location, implying that more burials exist beyond the original investigation. That is so sad. It's just
Yeah,
sad.
absolutely. Dude, that episode was fucking crazy.
So that is a whole lot to take in, right? So one takeaway, though, is holy shit, there is a ton of mass burials, right?
Yeah.
It's not something you really honestly think about. We don't sit around thinking about this. A lot of this shit we didn't even hear about. You may have heard about a lot of the stuff, but didn't know the extent of what actually happened. There are many, many more out there that are still being discovered to this day. Mass graves are also still being used as a means of disease control and as a way to mitigate large numbers of bodies from war and natural disasters as well. Unfortunately, criminal activity is also responsible for keeping the mass burials alive and well, because when you're going to have pieces of shit murdering lots of people, well, they're going to need a place to put them.
Correct.
One more little fact for you. What is considered the largest mass grave in the world? Huh? Well, according to some sources, we found that there is a mass grave in Syria, estimated to contain the remains of 100,000 or more people. Hundreds of thousands of Syrians are estimated to have been killed since 2011, when Bashar al-Assad's crackdown on protests against his rule grew into a full-scale civil war. Maouz Mustafa, speaking to Reuters in a telephone interview from Damascus, said the site of Kutafa, 25 miles north of the Syrian capital, was one of 5 mass graves that he had identified over the years. Quote, 100,000 is the most conservative estimate.
Right. And just a reminder, this isn't like, so you might be like listening and be like, wait a minute, didn't the whole like Khmer Rouge thing had over 1 million, blah, blah, blah. This is in literally one grave.
One hole.
One big giant fucking grave.
100,000 people.
Not like 40 or 50 little graves
Hidden all
together
over the
that
place,
made
right?
up a big field, right? Like this is one fucking giant hole that had 100,000 people in it.
Quote, it's a very, very extremely, almost unfairly conservative estimate, end quote. So basically he's literally like, that is the least amount of people there that we can say,
Yeah,
fully that's
right.
the number. So according to the Reuters article, Quote, Mustafa arrived in Syria after Assad flew to Russia, and his government collapsed in the face of a lightning offensive by rebels that ended his family's more than 50 years of iron-fisted rule. He spoke to Reuters after he was interviewed at the site in Al-Katafa, again, by Britain's Channel 4 News for a report on the alleged mass grave there. He said the intelligence branch of the Syrian Air Force was, quote, in charge of bodies going from military hospitals where bodies were collected after they'd been tortured to death to different intelligence branches, and then they would be sent to a mass grave location. He said that corpses were also transported to sites by the Damascus Municipal Funeral Office, whose personnel helped unload them from refrigerator tractor trailers. Quote, we were able to talk to the people who worked on these mass graves that had on their own escaped Syria and that we helped to escape, said Mustafa. His group has spoken to bulldozer drivers compelled to dig graves and, quote, many times on orders, squish the bodies down to fit them in and then cover them with dirt. Mustafa expressed concern that grave sites were unsecured and said they needed to be preserved to safeguard evidence for investigation, end quote. That article was from December of 2024.
Yeah.
2024.
They just found this thing.
So 5 months ago. Right. So it's a still developing story, and there is no confirmed number of bodies. Definitively, like we said, it is estimated. A conservative estimate is 100,000 people, but I'm going to say there's probably way more.
Well, there are also a lot of people on the other. Like there's people on the other side that are saying that this guy is full of shit, and it's not even like it's nowhere near as big as he's saying it is. But like there's evidence both ways, I guess.
Okay. So we're going to follow up on this.
Yeah, I feel like it's got to be something though, right? Like it's not just nothing.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be something. It's got to, at minimum, it's got to be, a decent amount of people in a fucking grave. That, you know what I mean?
I would assume so. Yeah, I mean,
especially like why would you say that if you didn't believe it when it's something that is, I guess, not necessarily easily verifiable, but like it is verifiable. Like
right.
Other people can go there and do research and see this. Like if you're not confident that there's a shitload of bodies, why would you put your like whatever reputation you have on the line for that, right?
That's true. Yeah,
knowing that somebody else could come in behind you and be like, bro, we counted like 10. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean though? Like obviously that's like a ridiculous.
No, I moved. We moved them at night.
Like,
yeah. There were a lot more here.
So I feel like there's definitely got to be something
for
to
sure.
it.
For sure. So yeah, we're going to follow up on that because I mean, this is still, developing. So there could be way more, and it could be, again, like Moody said, it could be way less. So we'll let you guys know with that. So this was definitely a heavy episode. I knew it was going to be like from doing the research and going over it, and Moody sent it over to me, and I was just like, oh God.
Like this episode flew by. I thought this episode was going to be like 2 hours. But like, I didn't even have anything to say because I'm just like, this sucks.
Dude. In awe. Like, you're in awe the entire time. There was like
nothing. I was just like, I kept wanting to like chime in, but I'm like, dude, I got nothing to say.
It just goes to show.
I can even add to this,
Yeah, it goes to show how ugly people can be.
And it also goes to show you how much bullshit we pack into an episode.
Yeah, there's a lot.
When you get to the meat and potatoes of them, they're an hour and a half long.
Yeah, it's so much.
That means we fuck around for an average of 30 minutes an episode.
Well, yeah, that's why people listen.
That's so fucking ridiculous.
They want to hear us tell the story and not be so drab, right?
Like now that I'm thinking about it, that's awful. Like if you were paying for this product and you realize that we fucked around for 45 minutes out of the whole episode, just like bullshit. Like,
normally.
Yeah, I'd be kind of upset about that. Yeah. I'd be like, damn, dude, I'm paying for bullshit.
Well, good thing this is free. All right.
Yeah,
that's what we're going to say.
I don't even know if I'd pay that.
Yeah. Well, wow. All right. Because it was so heavy, we're going to lighten this up a little bit. All right. So we're going to head into everyone's favorite part of the show. It's the movies.
It's your favorite part of the show, the movie review. Which top 10 movies will make the cut
today?
So we're going to ranker.com, which we love Ranker, and we are going to be talking about the best horror comedy movies ranked by fans.
Yeah.
I love
Ranker, dude.
I love it. And you know what
we're going to do? Like you said, too, I love how they put it on other lists.
Yes. So, which is why, I mean, there's 35 here. We're not going to start at 35 because we'll be here all night long if we do that. Because,
I would
we're
say
going to
around
talk about
like
every one of
10 or
these.
15, right?
We're going to start at 15 because number 15
okay.
is one of my favorite movies of all time.
All right, let's do it.
It is The Frighteners with Michael J. Fox.
Yes. Fucking Michael J. Fox, dude.
I'm trying to get
That's
my
such
youngest.
an underrated fucking
It's
movie.
so underrated. I'm trying to get my youngest to watch it. And she's like, Dad, it just looks dumb. I'm like, it's not dumb. It's so
It's
good.
really not at all. It's such
It's
a
so
good. movie.
good. So I'm trying to get her to watch it. If you guys haven't seen this movie, it is fantastic. The Frighteners delves into the supernatural world of ghosts and hauntings with a wickedly funny twist, delivering an offbeat yet thrilling horror comedy experience directed by Peter Jackson. Yes,
Yeah.
that Peter
Fucking
Jackson.
Peter Jackson, dude.
And starring Michael J. Fox. The film cleverly balances its spooky atmosphere with slapstick humor and sardonic wit.
Definitely tracks for early Peter Jackson.
Yeah. And do you want to tell everyone who Peter Jackson is and what he's done?
Oh, I don't know. A little thing called Lord of the fucking Rings.
Yeah. That guy.
And
He did
also
this movie.
Dead Alive.
Yeah. He did this movie. He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Dead Alive's so good still.
He did that. And then there was another one he did. His first movie is called Bad Taste.
I've never
It's
seen
about
that.
aliens. It's about aliens that are on Earth, and they run like an intergalactic burger joint, and they come to the Earth and steal people to make burgers out of.
Maybe I have seen that. That sounds
Yeah.
really familiar.
Yeah, dude.
So this movie is just amazing. It's got some, I mean, the CGI and stuff, it's cool. There's a Grim Reaper in it that's a serial killer.
The effects were pretty awesome for the
Yeah,
time.
like it's just such a good movie. I love it. Please watch that. If you haven't seen it, watch it and let us know what you guys think of that movie because it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's good.
Number 14, love it. I don't know if it should be above Frighteners in my opinion, but it's Creepshow.
Oh, Creepshow's great.
Yeah, Hal Holbrook, Adrian Barbeau, E.G. Marshall. Creepshow delightfully resurrects the spirit of classic pulp horror comics, serving up a series of twisted tales that blend humor, terror, and gruesome fun. Directed by a guy you may have heard of called George A. Romero, and penned by another guy that had a pretty decent career named Stephen King. The film...
Didn't George Romero used to be a frequent on our show?
Oh,
remember?
yeah. George
He used to come and hang out all the time.
George was always here with us. The film revels in its campy tone and gleefully grotesque visuals, providing a delightfully macabre viewing experience. It's a bunch of different small stories.
Was it 3? Is it 3 or 4?
It's 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I know that Stephen King is actually in one of them.
Yeah, he's in all of his stuff.
Yeah, it's so good.
He makes cameos.
It
He's
is
like
good.
Stan Lee, he makes cameos in like all of his movies.
Oh, it is. I forgot to do this for Back to Frighteners real fast.
Oh.
It also ranks number 1 on underrated horror movies that flopped at the box office.
Oh, there you go, dude. Absolutely.
And number 1 on underrated 90s movies that flopped, ranked by their unsung genius.
Fuck yeah, man.
Okay. That's such an obscure list. Anyway,
Dude, it's
Creepshow.
that movie is super underrated.
yeah.
I can't believe there's many people like don't know about that.
And it still holds up, dude. And when you watch it now,
absolutely.
it still holds up. Like some
Absolutely.
movies, like, Evil Dead and things like that, they could be, you go back and watch it, like for somebody that's younger now that's kind of used to like the new movies, like
It's
Charlie
like,
absolutely hated it.
Okay.
She hated it.
Well, she's.
But she's also,
I'm never gonna be. I'm not talking to her.
you should not talk to her. I know. I was really upset when she said that. But she also hated Poltergeist, if it means anything to you. But she's a huge horror fan. She just doesn't like those. Let's see. Creepshow is also number 1 on, 22 terrifying anthology horror movies perfect for a Halloween binge.
Beautiful.
Number 2 on pretty good horror movies that get under your skin. Pretty good.
Okay. Pretty good.
And number 2 on every horror movie Easter egg featured in the Scream 6 trailers. Who comes up with these? Here we go. Number 13 on the list. The Burbs.
Oh my god, I love that. How is that 13?
Yeah. The rest of these better be
That's top 5 minimum.
damn good. The Burbs is Tom Hanks, Bruce Dern, Carrie Fisher, and if I'm not mistaken, isn't
Corey
Corey
Feldman.
Feldman in it? Yeah. The Burbs expertly taps
so
into the
fucking
suburban
good,
paranoia to create a darkly comedic tale of nosy neighbors and potential murder. Its satirical slice of life approach cleverly contrasts mundane domestic life with an escalating fear and suspicion, maintaining tension alongside pitch perfect comic timing. Tom Hanks leads a talented ensemble cast in this underrated gem, which
He's so good in that movie.
it's
too.
so good. Definitely blends humor with the macabre, making it an endearingly quirky addition to horror comedy history.
It's
So
one of my
good.
favorites.
Number 1 on the best movies about neighbors. Beautiful. Love it.
Absolutely.
Number 5 on every Tom Hanks movie of the 80s, ranked by rewatchability.
Dude, that's top 5 of every Tom Hanks movie ever made.
Right? Also ranks number 6 on 21 underrated 80s movies everyone totally forgot existed.
All right.
I don't think I didn't forget that one existed. I love that
Dude,
movie.
I'm just going to be brutally honest, and a lot of people are going to say whatever about it. It's better than fucking Forrest Gump.
Oh yeah.
It's way better than it's
Absolutely.
better than fucking what's that other stupid space movie he was in? Apollo 13 is better than that.
Way better than Apollo 13.
Come on, man.
Freaking Castaway. Like
Get real here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I like Castaway, but dude, fucking Burbs is way better.
Birds
than
is
Castaway.
better. Number 12 on the list. Just recently watched this. Had my daughter watch it because she says that she
Let me
is.
guess. She hated it.
No, she loved it.
Oh.
She's into musicals
Oh.
and into horror. So what do you think this is?
Could be one of a few things. I'm gonna go with Little Shop of Horrors.
Little shop of horrors,
Is it?
you up. Yo, yeah, dude. Number 12 on the list, Little Shop of Horrors. Rick Moranis, Ellen Green, Steve Martin, and a little cameo in there of the one and only Bill Murray, where he just couldn't get enough of the of the
Yeah.
gas. Oh yeah, give it to me. Little Shop of Horrors brings the camp and horror of the carnivorous plant Audrey 2 to life with catchy musical numbers and deliciously dark humor. The film's unique blend of horror and comedy works thanks to the snappy dialogue and memorable performance by Rick Moranis, Ellen
Dude,
Green,
he
and Steve
is-
Martin.
Speaking of underrated, man.
Huge,
Oh,
huge. And he just stopped. He was done.
yeah.
He just-
dude, did you see there's a video of him getting like mugged?
Yeah, I heard about
Like
that.
just recently.
Yeah.
He got mugged. There's like it's on like a security camera.
So messed up. He was such an iconic 80s.
Hey, dude.
Yeah, like
He's
I mean
underrated as
Ghostbusters, like shit. Let's see here. So obviously, hopefully you guys have seen this. If you haven't, please do me a favor and just go watch it. You should watch all these, to be honest. But
Classic, dude.
yeah.
It's a classic.
this is number 1 of the best horror movies about killer plants. Okay.
Because there's so many.
Well, yeah, hold on. I have to look now.
What, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes?
Yeah, I'm not even going to look. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes is probably like number 2 on the list, right? Also ranks number 2 on horror movies adapted into Broadway and off-Broadway musicals.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
What
Number
was that stupid M. Night Shyamalan movie where the plants were killing people?
with Mackie Mac.
Yeah, Mackie Mac.
Oh
Is
my
that
God.
happening or some shit? Is that what it was?
Yeah, The Happening. Yeah. Do you hear that? It's out there. The trees, they're going to kill us all. Fuck off. That movie was fucking garbage.
So bad.
So shitty. Ugh. I did watch his newest one, M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong. I can't remember what the fuck it was called, but it's out recent. It's like a newer movie, and it was okay. It wasn't great.
I know he put one out recently. I don't
Yeah.
know. I can't remember.
It wasn't horrible. I didn't know it was even one of his movies until I started watching it. Number 11 on our list. This shouldn't be up here past what we just talked about.
Oh,
It's The Cabin in the Woods.
all right. I love that movie.
I mean, it's good.
I definitely love it for what it is. It's
Is
I
it
like
better than The Burbs?
I mean, I don't think any of these are better than the Birds.
Okay,
but
then.
that's
Okay.
that's neither here nor there.
So The
I
Cabin in
would
the Woods.
rather- as much as I enjoy Little Shop of Horrors, I'd rather watch Cabin in the Woods.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, The Cabin in the Woods pulls back the curtain on typical horror tropes, delivering a genre-bending experience packed with wit, satire, and genuinely terrifying moments.
Fucking what's his name? Thor's in that movie.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Director Drew Goddard and writer Joss Whedon. Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, he was part of that.
Playfully jab at cliches while subverting expectations, creating a mind-bending narrative that packs in plenty of laughs alongside nail-biting suspense. The film's unexpected twist and clever exploration of common horror archetypes make it a standout entry in the annals of horror comedy.
Oh yeah, it's Daniels.
Yeah, it's annals for sure. Ranks number 3 on 35 vacation horror films that will make you cancel your passport. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And number 3 on the scariest cabin horror movies. Number
All
1
right.
on that list has to be Evil Dead, right?
Evil Dead 2, probably.
Yeah.
Probably Evil Dead 2, and then Evil Dead, and then this movie.
Number 10? Okay. Tremors.
Oh, I fucking love it.
I love Tremors.
Oh, absolutely.
I actually loved all of them.
Oddly enough, well, yeah, some of these later ones are pretty good. I literally read an article yesterday that the guys who made the original Tremors got they just got the rights to it back, and they're going to expand on it.
No way.
So there's going to be more like Tremors movies coming from the original guys.
They've got to use the real like effects though, dude.
I hope so.
because I mean that was the part of that made it like feel real.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
CGI. It was like, what do they call that?
Practical effects.
Yes, and it was so good. If you haven't seen Tremors, Tremors takes the classic creature feature formula and injects it with irreverent humor, resulting in a fun, thrilling horror comedy that never takes itself too seriously. Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward.
Fred Ward, dude.
Fred Ward. Dude, do you remember what was the movie he was in? Oh my God, I can't remember what it's called now. I'll think about it. Hold on. He was in a movie where he had lost his memory and became this like super soldier. Oh, it was in the 80s. I'll think about it.
I know what you're talking about.
It's somebody's name. It's a guy's name. And it was so good. It was bad, but it was good. Let's see. So they're an unlikely
I know what you're talking about.
unlikely heroes facing off against giant carnivorous worms, showcasing a delightful chemistry that keeps viewers chuckling as the body count rises. The film revels
That's
in
what
its
I thought. He just died recently. Like
yeah,
2
Fred
years
Ward.
ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago,
It's awesome. It's awesome. Which, by the way, if you guys haven't heard, Kevin Bacon is in a new TV show. And I'm trying to think of what it's called right now, but I can't off the top of my head. Basically, he was killed and came back from hell.
yeah. Sorry. Remo Williams.
Remo Williams, yes.
That's right, dude.
So this Kevin Bacon TV show is actually pretty good because he's basically killing demons. And
okay.
It's pretty cool. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, just look it up online and it'll tell you. Let's see. Tremors ranks number 1 on the 16 cheesiest horror movies we love to watch.
Yeah.
Number 1 on the 10 must-see giant monster movies, according to Shudder.
Okay.
Number 1 on the, the best movies about giant worms. All right.
How can you make a list of how many movies about giant worms are there?
Let me look.
Are the top 10 all Tremors movies? Is that the whole list?
No, hold on.
They're all Tremors movies, aren't they?
I'll just go to number 10. Okay.
Okay.
Because I don't think, there's 11 total.
All right.
11 is Mongolian Deathworm. 10,
Okay, that's a cryptid thing, yeah.
10 Deep Rising. 9 James and the Giant Peach. 8
What?
Tremors 5.
Okay.
7 Tremors 4. 6 Tremors 3. 5 Tremors 2. 4 Dune. 3 Beetlejuice. 2 Dune. And number 1 is Tremors. So they basically made their own.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And those other ones are a fucking stretch, dude. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's Jesus. Number 9 is on our list here. Let's see. Evil Dead 2.
Oh, yeah.
Bruce Campbell. Evil Dead 2 takes
course
the
it's gonna
terror
be
of its
there.
predecessor and cranks the humor up to 11, marrying
number is
slapstick.
this?
This is number 9.
Really? It's that high or low, I guess?
Yeah.
Wow, that's surprising. Actually.
Slapstick comedy with gruesome gore to create an unforgettable cult classic. Bruce Campbell's iconic portrayal of Ash Williams shines through in this sequel, expertly navigating the film's tonal shifts between horrifying and hilarious. It is so good. Sam Raimi, I believe, is the director, right?
Yep.
And he's just amazing. If you guys probably know who Sam Raimi is nowadays because he's directing like Spider-Man movies.
He did the first 3 Spider-Mans with Toby Keith or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck that guy's name is.
Like, he's just amazing.
the hell's this guy? Toby what?
Tobey Maguire.
Maguire.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire. Yeah. Let's see. Evil Dead 2 ranks number 2 in the best horror movie sequels.
Oh, sequel.
Sequel. The Chitty City. No, it's Chitty Island. That's it.
Shitty Island.
Chitty Island. Can I help you? Let's see. Number 2 on feel good horror movies to watch during difficult times.
Okay.
It's such an obscure list. I kind of want to go
These lists
through
are
that
very
one.
specific. They're very specific.
Also, number 4 are the 30 plus best zombie comedies.
All right.
Okay. Number 8 on our list is Gremlins.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay. And
I'm
obviously,
thinking ahead of like movies that I'm pretty sure are going to be like top 5.
well, the next one's definitely, when I get there, I just saw what it is probably one of my all-time favorite movies ever made. So, but Gremlins, you guys probably know what this is. It's about, well, gremlins.
Gremlins.
And
Yeah.
Mogwai.
Mogwai.
Yes. Let's see. Ranks number 3 on the best final pets that make it through horror movies.
Nice.
Okay. And number 6 on the best movies of 1984. Wow.
It's 1984.
Yeah,
Jesus
dude.
Christ,
We're
dude.
old.
What number was it on that one?
Number 8. Or on the which one? The
1984.
the number 6.
There were 6 better movies than Gremlins. in
Yeah,
1984?
well, 5.
Right.
Yeah. Number 7 on our list of the best horror comedy movies of all time.
Yeah.
It is Young Frankenstein.
Oh my god.
I can watch this movie over and over on repeat.
Fucking Igor.
Yeah, Igor. Oh, was your first name Frederick? No, it's Frederick. So good. Young Frankenstein masterfully parodies the classic Universal horror films of the 1930s while still being genuinely funny in its own right. Mel Brooks' deft direction and Gene Wilder's charmingly unhinged performance as the young Dr. Frankenstein come together to create a timeless comedy that expertly balances slapstick, wordplay, and visual gags with the macabre atmosphere of its source material. It's in black and white.
It's one of his best movies.
It's one of the best movies ever, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's so good. It's number 1 in the greatest horror parody movies.
Okay.
Number 1 in the funniest classic wacky comedies.
Okay.
And number 2 in the best modern black and white movies.
What's number 1 on that list?
On the black and white movies?
Yeah. Schindler's List or some shit?
Schindler's
What's
List. Yep.
that? Is that what it is?
Yep. You nailed it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which I've never seen, by the way.
It's not. I mean, it's a good movie, but it's not something you really want to.
I don't like drab, sad movies, man. My life is
just give
fucked
it-
up enough. I don't need to watch shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude, just given what the movie's about, like it's like, do
Yeah.
I want to deal with that right now?
yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah. I mean, again, I know what it's all about and I appreciate it for what it is, but I just don't think I could ever watch it.
Yeah.
Number 6, which should not be as high as or higher than Young Frankenstein. It's Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Oh, dude,
It's good.
I might beg to differ on that one.
It's good. It's good. But it's
fucking. I'm surprised that's not higher. Actually,
I
surprised
just,
that's not like closer to the top of the list.
if you guys haven't seen this, Tucker and Dale versus Evil subverts the tried and
It's
true
fucking
formula
hilarious, dude.
of the hillbilly horror genre by turning the tables on our preconceived notions and prejudices, resulting in a riotously funny and unexpectedly gory experience. It is good. I love
when
how
they're trying
it's
to explain like what's happened to the cop. Like he just jumped into the wood chipper. The cop's like by himself. He did it like he jumped in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just jumped right in there.
it's a good movie. Again, I'm not going to negate that, but it's just there are better movies, is all I'm saying.
I'm surprised that's not higher. And I would still put Young Frankenstein higher than that though.
Yes.
But I think those both should be way higher.
I agree. Okay, I'll take that. Yeah, ranks number 1 on the funniest character deaths in horror movies. Ranks number 1 on new cult classics from the 2010s,
Yeah.
and number 1 on pretty good horror movies on Netflix for when you're in a fun mood. Who the fuck is making these fucking lists?
I love these categories that are like, it's a pretty good movie.
Pretty good. Number 5 on our list is Army of Darkness.
Oh yeah, there we are.
Bruce Campbell. This is the third in the series, right?
Correct.
Yeah, the Army of Darkness takes the campy humor of its predecessor, Evil Dead 2, and cranks it up again several notches, thrusting its chainsaw-wielding protagonist, Ash Williams, into a medieval setting ripe for laughs and scares. The skeletons are so ridiculous in that movie.
Oh, they're great.
It's so ridiculous.
They're great.
You guys, obviously, if you haven't seen it, please watch it. And watch them in order.
Legitimately, Army of Darkness is probably it's top 3 of my favorite movies of all time.
Right.
Easy.
It ranks number 2 on the best horror movies about time travel.
Okay.
Number
Wait,
3.
Rex, number what?
Number 2.
What's number 1 on that list?
I'm going to say it's got to be Interstellar, right?
I don't.
Oh no, these are horror movies about
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
best horror movie about time travel. Dude, great movie, and I honestly can't. I'd say they got it. Event
I don't even-
Horizon.
Oh, they consider that time travel movie.
Yeah, dude, that movie's
Okay.
so good.
I do like Event Horizon.
Oh, it's so scary. The 30 is number 3 on the 30 plus best zombie comedies. Also
Okay.
ranks number 3 on underrated fantasy movies set in a land ruled by evil. What are we doing? Now this one I'm gonna contest a little bit and say this is not really a horror movie. I understand, but it's not really. It's Beetlejuice.
Yeah, okay.
I don't really consider it a horror movie.
It
You know what I mean?
is, but it's not.
It's a darker comedy, in my opinion. I don't really, whatever. You guys know what Beetlejuice is. I don't have to run through the whole thing there. Michael Keaton, Alec Baldwin, Gina Davis. Great movie. Don't get me wrong. Loved it. Tim Burton, like one of his first.
I see what you're saying.
movies.
I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah. It also ranks number 1 on the best musical movies to watch on Halloween.
Musical movies, there's only like 2 scenes that have music in it.
Literally, there's the end and then the dinner scene.
Yeah.
And it's the same song, isn't it?
Yep.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. All right, number 3. Okay. This one, this one works.
I think I know what number 1 is, by the way.
What do you think number 3 is?
We're at the top 3 now?
Yeah.
I don't know. Give me a hint. You give me a hint?
Who are you going to call?
All right, Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
All right.
Ghostbusters, love this movie. I could seriously watch this one over and over as well. It's so amazing. Bill Murray is my spirit person. Like, I just love him in pretty much everything he's ever done. Even his dramatic roles, I'm still like obsessed with him. I actually have a Bill motherfucking Murray shirt where it's just his face. It's so good. Ghostbusters, obviously you guys know what this is. And if not, well, get your head out of your ass and go watch it, because they tried to remake it recently.
Not seen it is the question.
Yeah, they tried to remake it recently with an all-female cast, and it did not work.
And look, it's not because they were women.
No.
It's because it was a bad movie.
Yeah, it was just poorly written. It was not
if you put the original cast of Ghostbusters into that movie, it still sucks.
It was bad. Did you watch the newest one they just released?
That Frozen
Empire
whatever.
or whatever it's called?
I haven't seen it, no.
It's not great. Like, they tried to, they brought Dan
it's their
Aykroyd
kids,
back
right?
in. Yeah, they brought Dan Aykroyd in and Bill Murray. And
Yeah,
Bill
he was-
Murray's role in it
and,
was
what's
so...
his name? The fucking, the other guy, Winston.
Winston?
He was in it too, right?
Yeah. It was okay. It wasn't great. Paul Rudd is Paul
I can't think
Rudd.
of that dude's name.
Huh?
I can't think of that dude's name. Who's the guy that fucking played Winston?
Oh, I know his name. Hold on.
He was the cop in The Crow too.
Yeah. Hold on. It's son of a bitch. I feel horrible.
I just tried to search Ghostbusters, and you know how my phone thing goes. It typed in Fred Gusters.
What is wrong with your phone?
I don't know who the fuck is Fred Gusters.
So there's an ongoing thing, and I've mentioned this
Ernie
before.
Hudson, that's
Ernie
it.
Hudson. Yeah, I was going to say Eddie,
Fred
but that
Gusters was close.
is Fred Gusters. Moody sends me shit all the time, and it's so like incorrect. His grammar is incorrect,
care anymore.
but it's not even him being incorrect. It's his phone just
It
changes
literally-
shit
It's so fucking bad.
to
and I
the
don't know
point
why I
where I now know what certain words actually are.
like dinner. You know what dinner means?
Dinner, right?
It means some.
Some.
If you
Which
see
makes
dinner, you know
no
it's
sense
some.
whatsoever. But so anyway, Ghostbusters, it's amazing. You guys should know what this is, where they are literally Ghostbusters. They're busting ghosts. And let's see here. It is number 1 on the funniest movies starring SNL cast members. Okay.
Okay. I think I think Blues Brothers is funnier, but that's me.
Yeah, I love Blues Brothers. Those, I mean, there's a lot of really good ones. Number 2 on our list is Zombieland.
Okay.
Okay.
I forgot about Zombie.
It's good. It is.
I
It's a.
definitely know what number 1 is.
It's a true horror movie, it's a true zombie horror movie. So I guess maybe that's why
Gory,
it's up here.
like, yeah.
I'm sure everyone out there knows what Zombieland is. If you haven't, it combines the chaos of a post-apocalyptic world overrun with zombies with the charm of a coming-of-age road trip comedy, serving up both hearty laughs and heart-pounding action. It's got Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone.
And your boy.
A cameo again by my buddy Bill Murray.
Did you see the second Zombieland?
Yes,
Was it? I haven't seen it. I never saw it.
it's good. Yeah, it's cool.
Entertaining.
Yeah, like it's worth
Not
a
as
watch.
good as the first one?
No, it's definitely not. No.
All right.
Number 2 on, let's see, other lists. Here's the number 2 on the 30 plus best zombie comedies. Number 2 on the funniest movies about the end of the world. And number 3 on the greatest horror parody movies. Ranked.
Okay.
All right. So you said you know what number 1 is.
I at this point now that you got all that out of the
I
way.
think you have to
I
know
have
what it
a
is,
pretty
right?
good fucking idea.
You
what
have
it
to.
is.
And to be honest, I really don't disagree.
If it's what I think it is, I don't either.
So what do you think?
Is it Shaun of the Dead?
It's fucking Shaun of the fucking Dead.
Hell yeah. Bro.
I have to agree on this.
Yeah,
It's another one, dude. I can watch this all day, every day. I can quote I mean, all my kids love this movie. Like, we'll sit there and you've got red on you. We say it all the fucking time. All the time.
So Danny's got a cousin who's married to a dude named Pete. So every time, or just like when he comes up, or whenever the name Pete comes up, we're always like, Pete. He's like yelling up the stairs.
Yeah.
Pete.
We do the bubba da bubba da bubba bubba da bubba bubba da. If you have not seen Shaun of the Dead,
I always use it's on random too.
we cannot be friends. We'll just put it that way.
Who played this? It's on random.
It's such a fantastically well written movie. I am a huge fan of English black comedies. Like, I'm so.
Dude, Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz was amazing. Like, dude, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost are just.
Did you ever see the TV show that they had?
No, I never.
They were like ghost hunters.
I heard about it. It's just Nick Frost though.
It only
right?
lasted for like one season, but it was no, they're both in it.
Okay.
Like Nick Frost is the main guy. He's like a TV like a cable guy,
Okay,
and like he gets roped into like
I've
ghost
heard
hunting.
of it. Yeah,
Or like he's a ghost hunter and he like ropes these other people into ghost hunting with him.
yeah.
And it's
I've,
like this crazy there was only one season of it though. It never got renewed for a second season.
yeah. I've never watched. I need
It's
to watch
fucking
it.
funny if you get a chance to watch it.
Yeah. Well, if you guys don't know what Shaun of the Dead is, it's just it's great. That's all I'm going to say. Go watch it. That's all I'm going to say. It also ranks number 1 on the 30 plus best comedy zombie movies. Number 4 on 100 movies that need sequels. I agree.
I don't know if I'd want to ruin it.
I mean, that's the problem with that. I'd love to see a sequel, but they'll fuck it up.
the way it ends, they could totally sequel it
Uh-huh.
somehow.
And number 4 on the best British comedy movies.
What was the first list it was on?
The 30 plus best comedy movies. Number 1.
On just comedy movies.
Best zombie comedies.
Oh, zombie. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Sorry.
was like, holy shit, dude.
Be fucking
impressive.
That'd be amazing. So there you go. Those are your movies. Man, did we need a palate cleanser after that heavy ass episode on mass graves. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh man, be nice to each other. Jesus. Also make
Stop burying people on
Yeah.
top of each other.
What are you doing? I'm burying you. It's from Step Brothers. Sorry. Make sure to stop over to our official website, themidnighttrainpodcast.com. At our website, you can buy some super sweet
Super sweet.
merchandise at our store where you can find all kinds of shirts and hats and phone cases and stuff. And apparently we're going to be looking for the, what is it?
Travel John.
Traveling John shirt that's going to be coming out soon. Yeah. And all kinds of other stuff over there. Plus, get your stuff, help out the show, represent, and be cooler than everybody else in your neighborhood. If you like what you heard from us, again, please consider being a show producer by heading over to the midnighttrainpodcast.com and clicking on the Patreon button, or go to patreon.com/the Midnight Train Podcast. And for as little as $5 a month, you can get all kinds of cool stuff like custom shirts and stickers and, all the bonus episodes that you can stick a fork into. So if you're into the show and you're like, man, I need more content, what are you laughing about?
I just had this fucking amazing idea, dude.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Do you know? Hold on. Do you know that fucking thing that the kids do for school and shit? That Flat Stanley?
The what?
It's called Flat Stanley. It's like this little dude. They send it around the world and people take pictures of it and shit.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Bro, we have to make a traveling Johnny of that and send it all over. Like, send it to the poopers and have them fucking take pictures. And
Just
shit.
send it to every single one of them and have them
Like-
that'd be hilarious.
And then they can send it back to us, and we'll send it to somebody else, so they can fucking take pictures and send it back. We'll have the fucking traveling Johnny.
All right, if you guys are into that, let us know, because I'll make that happen. I swear to God. I will get a freaking Funko made of my stupid ass, and we will send it out.
Oh, God. Oh, that's so good.
Also, listen, if you guys just want to do a one-time donation to help the show out because you like the show and you want Moody to be able to feed his children, okay, go over to PayPal and use the email address, the Midnight Train Podcast at gmail.com. You can also contact us there and talk to us and give us like show ideas, critiques, if you will, anything you want. That again is the Midnight Train Podcast at gmail.com. More,
So you know, I'm sweating right now.
yeah, I can tell. You haven't stopped laughing yet. Just tell everyone about the show. That's what we need you to do. All right. You can also follow us on all the socials, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify. You can listen up there.
We can make an
He's still
Instagram
go-
for Traveling John. It's just like, where's Traveling John today?
have a special, like a part of the show with its own theme music. And now let's find out where Traveling John's.
John, this week I'm in North Carolina. Hooey!
Jesus. Moody's going to have a heart attack.
That's fucking great publicity, dude.
Yeah,
right
let's
there.
do it.
For real, that's done. We're
Yeah.
doing it.
All right,
He's
let's-
gonna have his own Instagram and shit.
Yeah.
It's gonna be amazing.
Traveling John. Yeah.
Fucking Old John the Prospector. Traveling John.
With his little bendel and everything. Yeah.
Oh fucking hell, dude.
We cannot thank you all enough for all the love, support, and just being cool as shit. You guys are awesome. You really do keep the train moving. Thank you so much for listening. A very, very special thank you to our fearless executive producers, first class passengers, aka poopers, because that's what they want to be fucking called.
I have a headache.
Amanda Carruthers, Patrick Jones, Amy Moses, Ibrahim Moises, Samuel Beaver, Chelsea Benz, Timothy Moore, Jacob Knoll, Ms. P, Cassandra Fuentes, Jacob Peters, Stoner Babe 69, Tim Karras, Zoe Miller, Tracy Valancourt, Edgar Rodriguez, Jenny Wynn, Riley with no last name, Chris Connors, Amanda C. And if that's the same as earlier, let me know, Amanda, and we'll take care of that. If not, then I appreciate you both. Dale Wells, George DeJesus, Megan McTerry, Amanda Dens, Chris Lucas, Joseph Aramo, Nathan Diekman, Caitlin McKinney, Maggie Brothers, who, happy birthday, by the way, I'm pretty sure. I saw that.
Yeah. Okay.
Rick Resler, Miles Campbell, Brian Gunsman, Pumpkin Escobar, not to be confused with Pablo. Escobar. Right. To Mac Doherty,
Yeah,
which,
buddy. We'll talk about that.
yeah. Janet Sherrill, Chad Flint, Chris McLeod, Justin Kowalczyk, Christina Skelton from the Sister Skelton podcast. We miss you. To Maria Gibbs, to Chainsaw.
What the fuck?
To Katie Brabenick, and of course, our boy, Bill Birch.
You know what? Good for you.
So do us a favor, spread the word, and if you want your name to be mentioned on the show and for us to be forever grateful, become a Patreon producer, become a fucking pooper, and maybe we'll send Traveling John out to you when we get him done. You know? Sounds like a good idea to me. Listen, we've made a lot of dumb ideas, and that doesn't sound like one of them, my friend.
Oh my god.
So until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and never stop seeking the truth. Stay safe out there, passengers. And as always, choo choo, motherfuckers!
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
I'm Traveling Johnny. I'm coming. I'm coming to a town near you.
Fuck.